Hey guys, this is Samuel, and I want to talk about scientific racism. Scientific racism is this hilarious theory that you can prove that certain races are better than others scientifically through things such as brain size or skull shape and all this stuff that was ruled out way, like hundreds of years ago. But, people still to this day believe this stuff and put it on YouTube. I don't know why anyone would ever do that, but they do. But what's funny is the type of scientific racism you see here on YouTube. Most of it has to do with George Mason's theory of craniology. George Mason made this theory that the size and depth of your brain actually determines which race is better. Now, reviewing the notes and stuff of George Mason actually admitted that he was wrong, and that the first time he went around to see that white people's skulls don't actually hold more than other races' skulls, and that he had to switch the material he used to pack the skull before he actually submitted his final experiment. But some people still believe this, and it blows my mind. The reason whites and Asians have bigger skulls than other races has nothing to do with intelligence. It has everything to do with climate and evolving to adapt to said climate. Inuits have the biggest skulls because Inuits have a lot more fat in their brains. All the brain is a giant pile of fat inside your skull. That's all the brain is. A giant pile of fat. And because it's a giant pile of fat, it determines how giant your skull is. And you use this fat to heat your head. It's more of like an insulation issue. So, it's the same reason why your skin is white. You see, the reason why skin is white for people in more northern climates, the more north you go, the whiter they get, is because it's adapted to not needing that much vitamin D. That's why a lot of black folk and a lot of ethnic folk who live in states like Washington or live in some of the coldest parts of Canada have to take, they enrich the milk with vitamin D so that people could actually live in those climates, because it can lead to very poor bone structure and can lead to a lot of, diseases in ethnic people if they did not have that in their milk, or they did not get a sufficient amount of vitamin D. But people don't realize that these things are evolutionary traits to adapt to a cold climate. A bigger brain and white skin are just that. Another reason why white and Asian people have much larger skulls than other ethnic groups is due to the fact that they breeded with Neanderthals. You see, when the human race was spawned out of Africa, a lot of tribes and stuff went up north and, spread into Europe and Asia. And when they did this, Neanderthals were in those more northern regions. And they mated and they breeded. That's why a lot of white folk and a lot of Asian folk have Neanderthal genes in them. Whereas black folk don't, because black folk stayed in Africa. But those are the reasons why you have a big head and you have white skin. It's not anything special. You're not special. It's the same reason why the farther south you move in the United States, white people in New Mexico and Arizona, they don't look like white people from Kansas and Missouri and Ohio. They're not that white. They look very Hispanic. Their skin's a lot darker. That's just how it is. They're evolutionary traits to adapt to your environment. Anyways, Samuel out.